Hi guys, it is Shimmy here. We are going to make some paste paper. Sorry I haven't been around. I've had the flu. It's been crazy over here. So we are going to have fun today and do something really fun. And I just have these containers. These are ones that I recycled from when I used to teach in-person classes. So they're little containers. I also found these fabulous combs at my favorite place, the Dollar Tree. And they're really great. You get 3 of them. They have kind of different ways for you to kind of scrape and things like that. So I'm going to be using probably this one the most, but maybe a few of these other ones too. And we're going to make paste paper. Hopefully I said that. So you're going to need some paper, and you're also going to need some liquid starch. I got this from the craft from Walmart. So that's what I'm going to be using. And you're going to need a container to put your starch in, and then combs, or you can even use a fork or a scraper. Anything will work really for this process. I'm going to stick with 5 colors, but you can do as many as you want, and you just need cheap acrylics. So apple barrel works great for this. I'm just going to pick some out. I'm going to do maybe a couple warm, couple cool, see what we come up with here. So I think it looks really nice when you have kind of different values. So I'm going to maybe do, if I do this light blue, then I need to do a darker blue. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're going to do this process. Maybe I could do like those are kind of pretty together. Maybe we'll do those, or should I do like a lime? I don't know. I'm trying to stick with just a few colors, but you guys know how I am. Okay. Yeah, okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then you're going to put in your color. So whatever color you want to use, you probably want to give these a nice little shimmy shake. And just have kind of an area in your room, or this would be really great to do outside, or a place where you have lots of space. So just give yourself lots of room. And you're going to open it up. Put some in the container. There's not really a science. You'll kind of know if it's pigmented enough when you start putting it down. But I have never made paste paper, and I love the way that it looks. So I decided I'm going to give it a try. You probably don't want to waste that on your pieces of paper, but that is apparently what I am doing today. Just going to wipe that up a little bit. That one will be pink. So I have all sorts of paper here. So I have tracing paper, I have drawing paper, I have cardstock. So you can use whatever kind of weight paper. You can use watercolor paper for this. Whatever you want is fine. Let's put this one in there. And I'm just eyeballing it. So we need some magenta. We have that one. Let's do some lime in the light blue. You could do the rainbow colors. I think that'd be really cool. This is a super fun project to do with kids. And I did kind of cut down my papers a little bit and rip them, I should say. And I'm just going to stick these over here so I have easy access. You will want lots of room for this process. I'm a little bit limited, but it'll work. Everything will work. And I will take these and put them away. You're also going to need some brushes, so just make sure that you have brushes for every little container. Okay, so I have my brushes over here. I'm just gonna randomly grab some. We'll do 5 of some sort, like this. That should work. They can be soft bristle, hard bristle. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have is fine. You just need whatever. You just want a brush for each color. Then we're going to pour this into our little containers here. I'm going to bring you back just a little bit here. Let's adjust. And as you can see, this is in the morning, so the sun is shining. So we're going to go ahead and pour this in. They say about 1/4 of a cup, but I think it's a little bit less than that. I just kind of eyeball it. That looks good. So maybe I'll show you one on the side so you can see. So let me put the top on. We'll pour some more in here. So yeah, I'm gonna maybe like 3 or 4 tablespoons. Yeah, you can just eyeball it. Like I said, you'll see when you start experimenting what happens. So I'll do that. And then make sure you put the top on. This was leaking a little bit, but so. Are you one of those people that like checks your containers before? I am. Sometimes I remember like bleach and things, they seem to leak a lot. So I'm just going to mix this together. I might have to add more paint. But you wanted a consistency so you can pull the color through. I might need to add a little bit of paint. I'm just using a palette knife here, a dirty one, to do my colors here. And we can even, yeah, so I think this definitely needs more paint. So I added a little bit too much of the liquid starch, but that's okay. I keep it in these containers because I can use this over and over again. These are cheap acrylic paints, right? So it's all good. Now you could do this the old-fashioned way with cooked flour, but this works very, very well. So that's how I'm going to do it, but do as you wish. I'll do this one. And we're going to stir that up. I think this one is the perfect consistency. Maybe not as aggressive as me. Actually, I think that I should move this paper because I am a hot mess most days. So let's move that out of the way here. I'm going to add some lime to it. Some more lime paint. There's no science to this. Just experiment, have fun. Play, play, play. I'm all about creative play. I think that is the perfect consistency. So you can see kind of the pigmentation. And it's fabulous. So that one's good. This one I think is pretty good too. And you kind of get to see like the colors. Like this is very transparent. So I'm going to add some more of the paint. And you don't need very much for this process. You might want to cover these up because I am a person that spills things all the time in my craft room. So that might be a good plan. I did, like you see, I don't know, did I clean it off my desk, but I spilled a whole bunch of gold paint a couple days ago. Which is crazy. I'm like, shimmy, why would you do that? But I did. Okay. I think that that one's pretty good too. We can add a little bit more paint, just a tad. So I'm thinking maybe like 1 tablespoon of paint to like 2 to 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, but probably a little bit less cornstarch even. But this just makes the paint, or the liquid starch, the cornstarch. Oh my gosh. You can see that I'm a cook, right? All starches are not equal, shimmy. Liquid starch. Hopefully I said liquid starch when I started. If not, you could, I'm sure that you could read the bottle, but people do not like when I mispronounce things, so there was a couple of videos that it was good thing that my fillings don't get hurt too bad. I have a pretty thick skin, but yeah. Ooh, some people are kind of brutal. So we'll do this and stir this up. There we go. So that looks pretty good too. It's kind of coating my palette knife. That's kind of how I know that it's pretty good. Okay, and we're going to put the tops on this, and then let's get out of our paper. And all these are going to get a brush. All the different colors. And put this away. You probably want to work on a covered surface. I'm going to actually probably make these just a little bit smaller for demonstration purposes, and then I like to be able to play too. So I'm just going to tear. You can cut, do whatever you like. I have some tracing paper. I can't wait to try this. And this is a big sheet of drawing paper that I got from Five Below. They have a pretty good paper selection, so I'm going to use that. That should work. Okay. Let's get started. I'm so excited. I've never done this before. Okay, so let's get a piece of paper. Let's start out with our cheerful blues. Okay, and we'll do this. So we're going to start out just by brushing on our color. And already, because this is a bristled brush, you're seeing the texture. Okay. Some interesting objects on my desk. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to grab another piece of paper. And I kind of set that aside just for a second. And let's do some lime green. And you just want to get the color on. Do not overthink this. Just go for it. Go, go, go. Now I'm going to put the combs through so you can see, but it's better if you add more than one color. So we'll do this, but you'll see that. See how it makes that gorgeous texture? And you can make it go in different directions. But as I said, it's even better if you do two colors, not just one. So I'm going to kind of get rid of that a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with this dark blue that I had. I'm going to brush that on. Whichever way you want is fine. I'm going to do this one vertical. Just, you know, be cognizant of your colors. It's probably good to stay in warm and cool colors. Because let's use the bigger comb here. Oh, that looks so cool. Right? Oh, I love this. Okay. So you'll kind of let that. I did not let things dry, so keep that in mind. You don't have to wait for it to dry completely. Now you're going to put this in a place, any place that is protected and that you don't mind if a little bit of paint or drippage happens. I have this. It's from a storage container. That's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to put my paper on there. Okay, let's go back to this guy. Let's do a light blue. I'm going to do it the other way. Doesn't have much contrast, right? So, but let's experiment, right? Who says that we just need to use stripes? Maybe let's add some puddles of paint too. Kind of see if we go through what that will do. So let's grab our little scraper here, and I'm gonna make it so it goes this way, and this way, this way, and this way, and let's go back to this way. Oh, I kind of like that a little bit. Let's do some splatters, because I like splatters. Ooh, I like that. So just play. I mean, this process I can already see is going to be super addictive for me. So yeah, I'll probably make a ton of them. Let's grab some sketch paper. And then it's great because you kind of get to play with different weights of paper, which is always a nice thing. I think I like working on smaller pieces, but you could absolutely do bigger pieces, and if I had tons of space I would probably totally do that, but I'm a little bit limited. So you might have to stir your color again, so just keep that in mind. Oops. See, thin paper. You have paper underneath, Shimmy. I hope I have nothing important while I'm stacking up paper and stuff like that. I think I moved all my paintings that I did this week. Let's go ahead and apply the color like so. go. Liquid starch is amazing. Okay. Ooh, let's even do a third color. I feel like being experimental, right? Let's add some of this one, which is not showing up that well, but that's okay. We'll do our best. Ooh, what do I want to do for this one? Let's see if we can just do something like that. So I'm just going up and down. It might be great to kind of experiment with your... Okay, I'm just going to go up here, I think. And then let's use the smaller combs. And ooh, yeah. So we can push up and down, and that creates some really interesting texture. Look at that. Fabulous. You can't get it from a brush. I love it. So I can already tell that the thin sketchbook paper, you kind of want to go light, I think, on the layers. Like that one was pretty thick. So just keep that on because the paper is super duper soggy, but it's fine. And we can even do, oops, and you see that my brush came apart. I didn't even say anything to you. That's how I'm used to things going on in my art room. That's what happens like when you create a lot of art. It's just like you just keep going. Like, okay. I have to tell myself like something maybe traumatic happened. But it did not. Okay. And I even have a little rag I can wipe this off. Paper towel, whatever you have is fine too. Okay. And let's see. I want to try to do like a circle-ish thing. So let's see. Here. Ooh. Oh my goodness. This is so much fun. Yeah, so see, it's ripping, but I don't really care. It's fine. Look at how cool that is. It's awesome. Circle, circle, circle. And it's so great to just do painted papers or something like that because it really just invites creative play, which I think we're all in need of sometimes. Right? Because we take things so seriously, especially when we're painting. We can get really stiff, so or creating something. So I think you just need that element of creative play sometimes. So and I love how these colors are like mixing together. It's just awesome. So experiment with how you put the paint down. All the things. Do all the things, right? Experiment with all the things. I just used that one, but that's okay. I'm gonna just like spruce. And I'm just pulling it back and forth and going up and down. If you hear, that's my Instagram because I posted this morning with the things that I was using to see if anyone could guess. I bet there are some teachers that have absolutely guessed and have done this with their kids, but look at how cool that is. So awesome. Okay, let's stick that down. These are great. They are going to take a little bit to dry, I can just tell, because the liquid starch is very wet. So let's do another one and then I'm going to let you go. So this isn't like 500 hours. And I'm going to do a quick tutorial for Instagram in case people don't want to watch the video, a long one. They can watch the quick abridged. So I'll film that, but I just wanted to do a video on YouTube. I'm sorry I've been neglectful, but like I said, I've had the flu. There's just been a lot going on. Working on a lot of projects right now, so I kind of finished them up, but there's a lot of fun stuff coming up for me and for our community, so I'm excited about that. So I think next time I would not use this orange. It's just too close to the magenta, so you don't get enough contrast, but that's okay. All right. This one, let's just do kind of straight. This is tracing paper, so it was an experiment. We'll see if it works. because you have to be able to experiment. Okay, very, very thin, but that looks so cool. Wow. Running out of room here for my paper, so I have to like stop now. So I'm just going to go ahead and just put a cover on these guys, and I'm going to let those papers dry a little bit, and then I'll do another batch. And I will come back so you can see at the end what everything looks like. I'm just going to brush off these brushes. I don't think I have to worry about the paint getting hard because of the starch, but I will soak them in my water container and cover them up. But I love the papers that we made together, so I'll show you them after they dry. Hi guys, so this is how it turned out. These are the papers that I made. These are so pretty. I also grabbed some book pages too, and did some on book pages, which I love. But this is how they look. You can see all the beautiful texture, and I'm going to call them paste papers, but you could also say marbled papers too. Maybe I'll use both. But it's really cool how they come out, and you can see a little bit of the marbling too, but I really love the ones that have a lot of the scraping in them, that have a lot of roundness. I don't know if you can really see it, but they're so pretty. Like this one you can really see because of the contrast, but I just love this movement. And you can use these in so many ways. This one's really very marbled. I really got in there, but it's really pretty. It's a little bit subtle too, which is so fun. So these are totally addictive. I'm loving them right now. And then if you don't have combs, you can even just scrape into the paint with a skewer or the back of your paintbrush. I think that would work out great. But they just add such beautiful texture. I mean, you can use these in so many ways for so many projects. This one is still wet. And I just recommend that you work on plastic, just as a few takeaways. So I would work on plastic. I think it'll just make your life a lot easier. These, I would definitely have containers if you're not going to do like a full, like kind of creative process where you're going to use every bit of paint. These containers are great. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. They come like in 10 in a pack, hopefully for like $1.25. So they work out really great. I put all sorts of things in them. Just make sure they're closed nicely, and then you can come back and have another session of making this gorgeous paper. I'm totally addicted. I think maybe I'll do this outside. The weather here is still nice in Colorado, so we still have a little bit more time before it starts snowing and raining. So I think this would be a great project to do outside, where you have lots of room. But I did it in my little room. I have I work in my bedroom, so I just have a little corner where I create in. I did have a craft room when we were in a house, but now that we're in an apartment, it's a little bit smaller. So you just create however you can. It doesn't matter. And as I said, I did get this comb at the Dollar Tree. It is in the icing section, which is awesome. One of my subscribers on Instagram, oh, I have a few more over here, told me about them, so I went and grabbed some. So it's great. I got 2 packs just in case, and then they have some that are just scrapers that are fun to play with too, but the ones with the combs are great. But you can even just use a regular comb. I've used a regular comb before to make marled paper, and it worked out great. Or even just to scrape into things. I think that combs, or even a piece of cardboard I've cut into too, to make these kind of spikes. And you can make them that are that more have like waves. So you can try different fun techniques, or that have sharp edges, or maybe they're straight and then go up a little bit, and then straight, go up a little bit. So you can play with making your own tools too. And if you want a video on how I recommend that you do that, I can totally do that too. And please leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I will have all the things that I use linked below on Amazon if I can find them. So if you're having trouble with knowing the exact stuff that I used, hopefully Amazon will have links and I can link them for you too. But yeah, it worked out really great. I'm going to get these brushes in some water, but that liquid starch keeps them pretty soft for a while, so it's definitely forgiving. You can go over and over with these, and you know, this might just be a starting point. for you making painted papers or jelly printing on top of these. You can use them as backgrounds. I love using them in collage. So the possibilities are endless, and it's so fun and super easy, and you don't have to make the paste, as I said. You can just go grab some liquid starch and you're good to go, and it just creates really beautiful possibilities. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you guys soon. Happy creating. Bye bye.